2-year-old and my 4-year-old honestly would not stop jumping on the couch. Let me tell you about it because it changed my perspective as a mom. Now that I'm looking at it, my mirror is so dirty back here, but if you have little toddlers, you know, there's no keeping any surfaces clean. So this was when I was freshly postpartum. I had a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a baby who was probably like 3 months at the time. And I remember vividly this one afternoon where the 2 and the 4-year-old were playing in the living room and they kept jumping on the couch. This used to be a reoccurring theme. And I was with the baby in the kitchen. We were like, I was trying to make dinner. I was trying to nurse him. Like, we're juggling all the things, right? And I saw them jumping on the couch and I was like, hey, you guys sit down. Like, your butt goes on the couch, right? And I kept doing my things. And 1 minute later, they were jumping again. And I was like, you guys sit down on the couch. Your jumping is not allowed up there, right? Jump on the floor. And I kept doing my things and they jumped again. They're like egging each other on. And I was like, sit down. Stop jumping on the couch. Why won't you listen to me? And then I was like, oh, where did that come from? The moment, honestly, I was falling straight into this trap that so many of my clients and so many of you probably fall into, which is thinking that our little kids, our toddlers, even like pre-K kids, will be able to have the impulse control to stop themselves, especially when something is fun or exciting. And the truth is they just don't. Until they've started to learn this skill and develop that part of their brain, it's just not going to happen. And this is often why we find ourselves in the cycle of my kids won't listen until I yell. My kids won't listen until I start to count to 5 or until I threaten a consequence or I do some sort of punishment like, hey, if you don't listen, you're not getting screen time, you're not getting dessert. It's because we've fallen into this cycle where we forget they need us to help them listen. And so I took a deep breath. I was holding my little baby. I took a deep breath. I calmed myself down for a second. I regulated. I went over and I physically helped them get off the couch. And I said, I can't let you jump on the couch. You can jump on the floor. It's not safe up there. I know that's really hard, right? They had their little meltdown, their tantrum about it, and I was there for their emotions. That's something I can talk about in another video. But it was this reminder that I needed personally, that when our kids aren't listening, when they're not following a boundary, it's our job to help them follow that boundary. And if you don't want to be in this cycle where you're yelling at them from across the room, where you're always like counting to 5 or threatening or doing whatever to get them to listen, then you need to proactively be going over and saying like, hey, we don't jump on the couch, sit down or jump on the floor. And then after that one reminder, getting up and going over there. And I know that that takes more energy up front, but when I was consistent doing that 2, 3, 4 times, they got the picture and they started following that boundary on their own because I helped them start to learn that, right? I gave them those experiences and that muscle memory of like, oh, okay, I'm not allowed to do this. I have to listen to mom. I have to follow her boundary or whatever. Then it becomes easier because now they don't jump on the couch anymore, right? Or if they do, I give them one little reminder like, oh, that looks so fun. I know you guys love jumping on the couch, but you have a trampoline. We don't jump on there. And they're like, oh yeah, mom, sorry. And they get off, right? Your little toddlers, your little pre-K kids, your little ones to listen better, you have to understand what's going on in their brain. And you have to understand the framework of actually teaching them how to listen, teaching them what skills they need, how to set boundaries, how to stay calm, how to get them to listen, which is exactly what I teach. So if that's what you want, stick around. If you're like, yes, Cassie, that is what I need, send me a DM on the other app and we can chat about it.